Hello, welcome to Lemon Studios, where we talk anything and everything entertainment. I'm, of course, Lemon himself, Zeke Lemon, and this is my review for episode 7 of DC's Creature Commandos. But before we get into that, let's get the house clean out of the way. Sherry, I'm going to leave a like. Comment below, let me know your thoughts on DC's Creature Commandos, and of course, hit that subscribe button as it helps me grow into my YouTube career. I would greatly appreciate it. Now, all that out of the way, let's get into the review, Sherry. So, this is the penultimate episode. Next week is the finale. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I think this episode here was probably their second best one behind the Weasel episode. Maybe it could be number one. I'll have to really analyze it. Maybe watch the whole show together as a whole just to see which way I feel. But this is Dr. Phosphorus episode. And, you know, I'm fine with the format of the show, especially with it being season 1. They want us to get to know all the creatures. They want us to get to know their backstory and where they're coming from and how we can see this makeshift family comes to be, right? And, you know, we got a little bit of them being a mischief family. I would say that aspect is falling a little short for me. Like, I do buy the bride and Nina as, like, friends, because we, like, focused on that, right? They went to the bride's house together for her to get this necklace that she wanted from Frankenstein. And then, you know, they've always been together. The bride's helping her in the prison. And then, of course, she's helping Nina again when they get to the pleasure house in this episode. That dynamic I get. But, you know, Phosphorus making a little joke because, you know, they've had their moments as well. I just haven't really felt the whole team as a unit. Like, I like all of them individually quite a bit. And I can't wait for next week's episode because I have been yearning for the Nina episode quite a bit. The only one I haven't really liked is the Frankenstein episode itself. Or... you know, Von Frankenstein, the monster, Frankenstein's monster, because Frankenstein is the doctor. Anyway, that's the only episode that I was the hugest fan of, just because, like, I just don't think it was necessary to go into the backstory of Frankenstein. But I get it. You want to understand everyone. Finale, we get Nina. Today, we got Dr. Phosphorus, and I think they just did a really good job with it. And I haven't said this about any other episodes because I think the time has done very, very well. And, you know, the punches still, you know, felt good and very potent. Throughout the show, you know, you still feel it. And I did feel it in this episode too, but I really do think we missed an opportunity to make me, like, just feel it a little more. And I just kind of wish this episode was longer, or maybe this was just a full-on flashback episode. Maybe go 8 episodes and this is just Phosphorus and we're just seeing his, you know, being this lovable family guy. Like, you can just tell he cares about his kid. He cares about his wife very much so. You know, his drive behind this for signing up with the mob to get this funding and so that he could do this test on this cancer that probably could have saved his dad, that probably could have saved his wife's mom. You know, just all about the family and, you know, seeing this mob take his family out which don't get me wrong, I never want to see a kid die. But I do think, you know, seeing, you know, them bring him in and then watching through his eyes, them take his wife and kid out, I think it would have been a bigger punch. Now, you know, maybe that is a little too bleak for this type of show. But, you know, then after that, you take that out. You know, they put him into the machine. He turns into Dr. Phosphorus. And I would have liked this, you know, this whole psychological thing where he's going, I'm going to get my revenge. And, you know, I'm not even going to take my revenge. I'm also going to take his drug empire. I'm going to become the kingpin. And I'm going to run it all. Because it is kind of like a really big switch, right? Like, he's this lovable family guy. He loses his family. He's crying the whole way as the clock is ticking away on his human life, if you will. And then he gets put into the machine. Now, I don't know if that's because of nukes or, you know, we're just like, hey, we know where Phosphorus goes to, so let's just get to it. And then when he breaks out, and then he just takes them down one by one by one, and, you know, he does have some evil tendencies. Like, you know, killing the kingpin, cool, that's getting an eye for an eye. Killing the wife and the kids too. Now, if he killed them first, just so that they could watch and it was even, I guess I can understand. But, you know, it's at the same time, like, the guy that checks them in, what did he do? You could easily just walk through the gate. You didn't need to kill the gate guy. He was all right. So just seeing those tendencies and then watching him go into this madness, power hungry, becoming the kingpin, seeing all of that, and then to where we get to now, I just think it would have been much more potent punches throughout to feel, you know, this sadness, to see this monster that's become, if this episode was just a little bit longer, or to give a little bit more runtime to those flashbacks. But I did like everything we did in the current timeline. Like I said, I like what the bride and Nina did in the pleasure house, where they're sitting there and, you know, I like the whole debate. It's like, well, you know, well, not too different. We use our bodies for, pleasure. You use your bodies to kill. We're trying to just survive. You're looking for a way to die. Like it is a very fun debate to have between what, we're using our bodies for, whether it is or not. And then, seeing, these guys come in and, they're taking advantage of this girl. They're hurting her. It's not just about the pleasure anymore. They're hurting her. The boss comes up and goes, "You can't do that. I don't care if you're a metahuman." And then Nina's like, "Get off of her. You don't need to hurt her." And then the bride comes in to go, "All right, now you done messed up." And I like the whole ending beat too, where as they're walking away, she goes, "You do have a soft spot." "Nope, I was just saving you again." And she goes, "Because we are actually friends," and she wouldn't answer. I like that. I really liked all that. And I really did love the D subplot with the weasel, where he was just hanging out with wolves and they were just being animals. I loved every single time we cut back to that. And he was just hanging out, loving life. And then when he gets up, he goes, "I think he's going to protect the princess. I don't think he is going there to help kill. I think he's going to protect," because I was like, man, she looks a lot like the little girl from the school. Sure enough, we get that flashback. He goes, "Nope, I need to save her." So they start walking up. All four of them merge together after they go on their journey. Even love what Phosphorus did on his as well, where, he's trying to get away. He breaks into this house, and then he sees his little girl. He goes, "Are you thirsty?" Obviously cares for the kid. And you can just see the debate going on, even within the animation. And even without the lines, you can just tell how he's looking. He's like, "Do I have to kill this girl? I really don't want to kill this girl." And, he's going through that line and goes, "I really don't want you to take a risk on, telling where I may be." And then, we hear the scream. He goes, "Oh my God, he's going to kill her," because we saw him kill some kids earlier. And the parents come running down, and he's just pretending to fly. It's such a good line. It was so good. Like, it got me a little bit. And again, not to beat a dead horse, but I think it would have got me if I would have just had a little bit more runtime, just to, again, feel that a little bit more. I love that. It goes, "Well, just pretending to fly. Could you tell me what the castle is? I have no beef with you." "All right, thank you." And he gets on going. And then all four of them get together. Phosphorus cracks jokes about how hot the bride looks, which it is a good look. I'm not gonna lie. She goes, "Man, shut up, Jack Skellington." Like, it's a good line. Again, I just really want to feel that dynamic a little more. Like, when they all got together, I was like, this feels like it should be a much cooler moment, and it just didn't really fall that way for me. I love all the characters individually. I do. Even Nina, even though I've yet to get her backstory, because again, I don't know, it was immediately a matter to her from episode 1. And even the stuff with Rick Flag too, where, Amanda Waller is just like, okay, I need him to wake up to find out why he got beaten up so bad. And then Frankenstein to go in his own little average way to, got on the plane, goes, continue to fly, pays the pilots good, boom, gets going. And there we go. That's it. That's the whole entire episode. Again, it was a really good episode, very tight episode. Really flew by. I never felt the runtime whatsoever. Hey, buddy. This is Crash, everyone. If you hit subscribe, he gets a treat. I think the pacing was really good. I thought the structure was very well. Again, I just would have liked for it to be a little bit longer, to see Dr. Phosphorus' backstory quite a bit. Love him more than I already did. I think my characters go Nina's 1, Phosphorus is 2, then maybe the Weasel, oddly enough, and then probably the Bride after that. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Again, a really, really solid episode. Can't wait for next week. But I'm also really ready for season 2 as well, where we can just focus on the ensemble, right? Like, yeah, sure, I like the group as a whole. I do. I like them bantering off for each other. Again, it was a funny joke of going, "Hey, you look hot. Shut up, Jack Skellington." That was very funny. I even like their scene in the prison as well. I just haven't really felt that camaraderie and be like, yeah, this is truly a team, like I have usually before with James Gunn's other superhero flicks, which granted, he has 2 hours and he had to have a beginning, middle, and end within that. And, he had to limit that. The show stretches out. But I am looking forward to season 2, where we can't just focus on the ensemble. But I am looking forward to the finale as well, to see how this all ends. It has been a really good it's been a really good prologue, I should say, to the DCU. So let me know what y'all think of it down in the comment section. Leave a like if you made it this far within the review. I would greatly appreciate that, along with a subscription to this channel, as I am trying to grow into my YouTube career. Yes, Crash does get a treat if you do hit that subscribe button, so help feed my dog up. He is giving me the head shake right now, like tree. So I gotta get him a tree anyway. But get him another one by hitting that subscribe button. So yeah, until next time, guys, I'll see you here at Lemon Studios.